What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. I'm your host, Disco, and today we're going to be talking about 2024. Wait a minute. Yes, 2024. I know it's a bit early considering that 2022 hasn't happened yet, but in the end of the day, though, we got to talk about 2024 and see what happens. Now, ever since Biden's popularity has been increasing, his the idea of him running again has been an idea run by a lot of people. Now we'll go to the favorability rating there's a favorability rating by Donald Trump. He hasn't been considering that he's that favorable. How popular is he? There it is. That's the one. Now, considering, where's the day? Considering that ever since June, there you go, it's been steadily increasing. The possibility of him running for a second term and winning is an idea people are running. So, this was Joe Biden in 2020. This was Donald Trump in 2016. Biden has an uphill climb to run in a lot of these states. So that's why we're going to go into these states. These are the 16 battleground states I think will be part for the 2020 to 2024 presidential election. I cannot speak. Now, I know these are solid, but I do not think Colorado and New Mexico will go that solid, including Virginia, along with South Carolina, Alaska, maybe even Kansas. But yeah. So let's get talking about certain regions. I'm actually going to start off with these two states, Nevada and Arizona. I actually think these two will go lean. Arizona specifically has been getting more and more blue ever since Donald Trump has got lean, and now they have two senators that are both Democrats. A significant shift, and that is something that needs to be considered. Arizona's getting bluer. Now Nevada's a bit different because Nevada's always had that mixed batch. It's always had like two Democratic senators. Well, it's not always, but had Democratic senators. Then at one point getting like a Republican senator. But it's been constantly mixed. But ever since 2018, they got two. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were to get it again. We'll go into Texas. We think it's going to be likely due to voting restrictions and how due to its voting restrictions, we do not think that, I do not think it will be great. But look at 2012. Trump, no, not Trump, it's Obama. We'll go into this map. We'll go into like this kind of map. Look at Obama's wins in the Rio Grande Valley. We're talking about like 70s, 60s. We're talking solid blues. This area has been always skeptical. Then you go into 2016 where Clinton did amazing with Hispanics and actually got the win to single digits. Look at her. We'll go into county by county. Her wins are good. She flipped this county by a huge margin. Obama lost this narrowly, and yet she won it by a huge margin, and nearly getting New Essex County, Fort Worth, all this stuff. But what are these counties? We're getting these by such big margins. But then you go into like this election, the 2020 election. Biden did worse. I know. Give me a second. Size of the lead. Biden did worse. He actually lost his county by 65%, and at a time where Clinton won it by 53%, and lost Nueces County, this county here, Jim Wells, and lost this county, Zapata, which Clinton won with a 65.7% vote share. So this year is definitely on red, and that's definitely showing. And I think this region will continue to get a bit redder, not like red right away, but yeah. But you also got to take into account these suburbs right here, in the Austin suburbs, in the Dallas and Fort Worth suburbs, and Houston and San Antonio. as well, because these counties got close. And then 2020, Biden flipped more populous counties. That's why it was still able to go more blue. So that's why I think Texas is supposed to be likely. We'll go into Nebraska second right now. I think it's going to be lean. It is considerably blue. I mean, it's not considerably blue, but it's not considerably red either. I mean, we'll take in 2004, it went from like a 22-point share to a 1.3 share, but then it went to a 7-point. But as Trump got into office, it went to a 2-point share. But then Biden got in, it went to a 6-point share. I do think it will continue to get redder. Well, not redder. It'll continue to get bluer, but I just think that this time it'll shift a bit more to the right. So yeah. Um, so yeah, we'll go into our next state. We'll go into Florida. I think it's going to be lean because same reason again. You go to Florida. Uh, Obama nearly won it at one point in 2004, 2008. Obama won it by 2 points. Won it by 0.88, and then Trump won it both times, but he increased his margin due to a certain region. Miami-Dade County is the reason. 61.6. I'll say out these numbers and you'll see why. States, then 63. Then the vote increased. Then go to 4 years later, it's single digits. Similar vote share to Clinton, but Trump's vote increased and it got less than 100,000 votes. How much does this county get? This is technically not so. But yeah, this is getting close. And that's where that's where like a lot of Hispanics live in Miami-Dade County. These Hispanics are from Cuba, just as a heads up. So yeah, that's why I think that it will be lean. I don't think it will be the same vote margin, but I think it'll still be like a tiny bit better than 2020. So on to these two states. I can't speak. North Carolina and Georgia. I do think that these two will go lean. Georgia and North Carolina begin in bluer, and actually, so you see these two states are pretty solidly red, and then Obama got single digits in Georgia, and Obama got actually won North Carolina for the first time in like since like Jimmy Carter. Yeah, since Jimmy Carter. So yeah, and then it was able to go to Romney, go to Trump, but then Biden couldn't win it. But it was getting closer and closer. Why so? It's because, not South Carolina, it's because of the suburbs in like Charlottesville, in Greensboro, and Winston-Salem. And yeah, it's the regions. But if you go to Georgia, it's these counties here. Say like if I go to this, went to Romney by 55 points. Come back here, it's going to 56. What's another one? This one right here, Quinton, 54 for Romney, 58 for Biden. These counties are getting bluer. What about Fayette? I can't say these. Dang it. 65, 52. The suburbs around Savannah, Columbus, Augusta, and Atlanta are getting bluer. Once Republican counties, now turning blue. The suburbs in these areas are growing, and I think we have to recognize that. So let's move on. New Hampshire, I think is going to be likely. It does have a red history. I mean, we go back to like 2000, Bush won it by 1.3. Wow, Gore did bad there. But then Kerry won it back. It's never really gone out of single digits. Trump came close, but then Biden solidified New Hampshire with a few counties, suburbs. These were definitely suburban counties that he won because these two counties. Because if you go back to like 2000 and 2012, what were the two counties again? All right. No, this one right here. This county's always been like dodgy, but this county here has went to Obama big, but then went to Trump. I can't show you on CNN because their map is terrible on for this. So like they got all these precincts here, which is not workable for someone like me. But yeah, it is. but it's noticeable here because 55, 59, 50.9. But yeah, I can go to, but it's Cross County, but it's Coos County. I can find it here. Coos County. Yeah, here it is. 52. Oh, that was bad. We'll go to Maine now. We'll go to Maine. Likely for at large, but likely for the district. I think it will be smaller slightly for at large, but not as. I think it will remain relatively. I think it will get close to 9 points for the second district. The second district has been getting a lot redder. I mean, let's go back to like. You can just see its progression. Boom. Went from 8.6. I mean, this was double digits in 2008. Boom, 7.4. You actually go to the House race. It first flipped in 2014. It was like viable, but then won it by like 9.6 when Trump won. But then Golden won it by just narrowly. But then 2020, he just won it. Golden won it easily, but that's because he's like a conservative. He's like a conservative Democrat, so that's why he was able to win so big. But you would have to be like a conservative Democrat to win in there. Okay, so now we'll move into the two Trump states that are very gone to the right, Iowa and Ohio. I don't think these two states will change much. Iowa might go into double digits because Iowa is heavily Republican now. They got a Republican legislator. They got almost all 4 seats in the House of Representatives. They got 2 senators there, and it's rural. It didn't switch much from 2008 to 2016 to 2020 because it's that rural. So yeah, it does say like if you look at like here, look at all this blue. Then look at all this. Look at all that red. I know it's like psychedelic red, but look at all just like 6 counties. So it's noticeable that this is rural and this is Trump country. Well, Trump country is West Virginia. So that's why I put these as likely. For Minnesota, I'm actually going to put it as likely because it's still a Democratic state. It's still, we'll use the House as a good example. I mean, like it used to hold the majority. It was this district that kept it together, but that's a rural district. But if we look over the years, it's been getting more and more competitive. I mean, like let's go to 2008, 10 points, single digits, 7, and then we go into Trump nearly winning, but then Biden affirming. But if it's a 10 points more to the right for Trump, he wins it hands down. Well, what's changing the vote count in here? That's Wisconsin. This area here, it's rural, but what's changing even more is you look at the region. Here, look at this region. It's getting bluer, but then you go into Minnesota territory. This area is getting bluer. These counties are getting more blue. These counties are getting redder. The same here, and these two here. These counties are getting bluer because these are suburbs. So yeah, that's my thinking. Now this will be now we'll move into the first state, Wisconsin. That will be the GOP's leading state. Why so? Because this state's getting redder. I mean, Biden wasn't able to even get it to a lean margin yet. He had to go from a 0.76 for Trump to a 0.63. This is a smaller margin than Trump's. So, but we can look at like 2018. Now I'll go here. We'll go to 2018, the Senate race. It was won by 10 points, 10.8. But then Ron Johnson was able to win by 3.8. But it's always been like a competitive area to be in. It always has been, but it's just been getting more and more. We'll take the governor races, for example. When Evers won his race, it was against Scott Walker. I think he was vying for a 3rd term. He should have Everett should have won easily by at least a nearly likely margin. Whitmer won, and Bolts won. Well, these two had term limits in, but still. But when you think about it, Everett should have won bigger, and that's a big idea for me that it's getting redder and redder. So therefore, going to the GOP. We'll talk about these two states: Michigan becoming lean, and Pennsylvania going tilt. We'll talk about Michigan, my home state. It is generally blue. I mean, like, we'll talk about Whitmer's election. These areas have generally bluer areas. I mean, we'll go to like Traverse City's over here. Grand Rapids is growing. It used to be very Republican. I mean, like, we'll go to Michigan. We'll go to Michigan 2012. Went to Romney by 53. Right about 8 to 7 points. Yeah, 7 point lead. No, 8 point. My bad. But then 2016, the area got bluer, and then Biden was actually able to flip it pretty big. Oakland County, my home county, has been getting a bit bluer, and Lansing has been sticking to Detroit being Detroit. But a lot of the areas are turning redder, but a lot of the suburbs are turning bluer. So that's what's keeping it in the blue column. We'll talk about Pennsylvania. Same here. The suburbs of Philadelphia right here, they're getting bluer, but these areas are getting redder. This area is actually slightly redder. These areas used to be a bit more red than usual. Go to 2012. That'll be a good indicator. These areas are a mix of red and blue. This county shifted a lot. This area has gone like from likely blue to a solid red, never going back. And Erie County has been shifting more to the left. So yeah, it's important to note that 2024, we must still keep this in mind of what the presidency could look like or what the future of the country could look like. So yeah, I do think, by the way, this is a Joe Biden versus a Donald Trump scenario. So yeah, this is what I think. 309 for Joe Biden, 229, just three for Donald Trump, three more, a 3 electoral count increase for Joe Biden. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please hit the bell button, hit the bell notification to be notified for your next video. I'll see you next time. Bye.